What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Well, whenever the Bucks lose, suddenly the video views for these particular videos go way up. So, because people hate the Bucks, they love to see Giannis lose. Whenever the Bucks win, nobody comes really to watch those videos. So, you know, all of the people who hate on the LDBC will come in and, try to rag on as if that bothers us. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, the Bucks blew a game. The Bucks blew a game that they should have won. The execution down the stretch was horrible. And I don't want to put blame on any particular person. Some of it is coaching. Some of it, you could even argue possibly leadership. Giannis, he had a magnificent game. A lot of it is just, I can't help but think that some of it is nerve. I don't know. But I've rarely seen a team blow a 7-8 point lead in 40 seconds in that manner. It wasn't like the Pacers were just hitting impossible shots from Benghazi or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Just throwing up, falling out of bounds, one leg cocked up, 35-foot 3-pointers. No, it was the Pacers in particular. It was Andrew Nembhard stepping up big. Even though I can't stand Tyrese Halliburton, he, made a great shot in the lane, in the paint, I should say, against one of the game's best defenders in Giannis Antetokounmpo, and they came back and won the game. I mean, the Bucks were pretty much in an impossible situation anyway. So the Bucks showed some fight. They won game, game 3. But ultimately, this game just proved to be, just wasn't meant for it, man. So the Bucks lose a heartbreaker in overtime, 119-118. The Bucks are eliminated. The Pacers will move on to play the Cleveland Cavaliers, and you already know who I'm rooting for in that particular series. The Bucks are eliminated. Of course, the Bucks were shorthanded. I'm not going to use that as an excuse, but they were shorthanded. They did not have Dame Lillard. This got to be like what? 1, 2, 3. The 4th consecutive postseason, I believe, that the Bucks have had at least one player have a significant injury. It's like the Bucks are cursed. It's just unbelievable. As we all know, Dame Lillard suffered an Achilles rupture. I think Giannis and Dame have only played in one playoff game together. Game 3, I believe it was the first win for Giannis suited as a Buck in, I believe, 1,000 days. That's how long it's been since Giannis has been healthy in the postseason. Giannis, 30 points, 20 rebounds, 13 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, but we gotta be fair on this channel. Giannis did commit 7 turnovers, and that's big. You know what I'm saying? If I point out Joker doing it, I gotta point out Giannis doing it. That contributed. That was bad. You know what I'm saying? Turnovers killed the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis had a magnificent performance, but that contributed ultimately to them losing this ball game, but more so what transpired at the end. Bobby Portis had 14 points and 10 rebounds. Gary Trent Jr., man, if this game had ended differently, we'd be talking about how Gary Trent Jr. is having a series of his life. 33 points, 12 of 25, I think, from the floor, 8 of 17 from three-point range. The other day, I think he hit 9 threes. He was having a series. You just couldn't believe 5 steals. But ultimately, man, Gary Trent Jr. Fumbling that pass. I think the Pacers were trapping, and I forgot who it was, but I forgot who it was who tried to pass it to Gary Trent Jr., but he fumbled the pass out of bounds, man, and that type of stuff, man. That type of stuff, man, is gonna stick with this guy for a long, long time, man. Long time. Gary, man, I feel for Gary in this situation, man. Kevin Porter Jr., 11 points, 7 assists. And I think AJ Green had, was it 19 points? The Bucks shot 19 of 40 from three-point range, almost 48%. But they left a lot of points, you know what I'm saying, off the board from the free throw line, 17 of 26 from the line. As I said, Andrew Nembhard, 15 points, 6 assists, 3 steals, excuse me. One of those steals came down the stretch where he stole the inbound pass, and which led to a Tyrese Halliburton 3-point play to cut the lead, which was once 7 points, down to 1. He also hit a 3-pointer earlier in that sequence, so he was big down the stretch. Tyrese Halliburton jacked up a lot of shots, only 2 of 10 from three-point range. 26 points, 9 assists. He did, like I said, score on the game. Ultimately, the game-winning drive against Giannis Antetokounmpo. T.J. McConnell, 18 points off the bench. Miles Turner, 21 points, 9 rebounds. And Aaron Nesmith, I think, 19 points, 12 rebounds. Pascal Siakam didn't have a really strong game at all. Only 10 points and I think 4 rebounds. But, yeah, this is a heartbreaker, man. Then, of course, you had this situation where Tyrese Halliburton's father got into it with Giannis. I don't know exactly what was said. I was listening to what they're talking about on NBA on TNT about whether that's appropriate or not. I'm going to say this. I don't think it's necessarily appropriate for a parent to be on the court talking trash, right? But I kind of agree with Shaq, like, you know what? It's sports, and we see people talking trash to each other, right? If I'm Giannis, I'm banking that as a memory, and I'm banking that as more disrespect being shown toward me. You know what I'm saying? More disrespect being shown toward me. Like, I understand Giannis won a championship, man, but the media don't care. The media is going to hold Giannis accountable for losing to the Pacers 2 years in a row, even if he wasn't healthy. See, he don't get the LeBron James excuses. You know what I'm saying? He don't get the LeBron James excuses. See, you notice when LeBron's in a competitive conference, he's not going to the finals 8 years in a row. See, when he was playing in a piss-poor conference on basically a super team in Cleveland and a bona fide super team with the Miami Heat, no matter what type of revisionist bullshit he and old boy Rich Paul try to pull, when they was playing in the weakest conference, Eastern Conference since the 1950s. See, you know what I'm saying? It's so easy now. You got 2 conference finals appearances in what, 7 years playing with the Lakers? What's going on? 1 final appearance in 7 years? So, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, man, Giannis should use this as fuel to come back even stronger and better than before. I'm going to tell you something, though, man. I like Doc Rivers. I do. I don't think Doc is it for his coach, man. For this team, Doc is a hellified coach. I do think he gets way too much hate. He's a great coach. I just don't know if he's the coach for this team. Now the Bucks have way too many coaches on their payroll, so I don't know if they should fire him. They got way too many former coaches on their payroll. Then again, look at all the former coaches that's on the Phoenix Suns payroll. Maybe Doc should just step aside, go to the front office or something, and let Darvin Ham take over, man. Because I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I just think that this team needs some changes, man. And now with Dame, with this terrible injury, you can't really trade him. Now, I think there's an NBA rule where if you have an injured player on the roster, I think you can go over the cap, signing somebody, at least in the year that they have their serious injury. I remember hearing something about that, reading that rule. Like I said, that's more the Kareem report. Maybe Ticket know more about that. But the Bucks need to overhaul this roster a little bit more, man. Tweak it a little bit more, but not make a bunch of crazy changes. But man, it just wasn't meant to be, man. You know? See, I'm not gonna go in here and do what Scap Attack and some other guys do and blame the role players. It's not their fault. You know? I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna say those guys are ass. Giannis is surrounded by mediocrities and a bench that's arguably the worst in the history of the NBA, definitely the last 40 years. I'm not gonna do that. Because, like I said, Gary Trent Jr. is part of the reason why they were in a position to win. And the Bucks came out furious. They had a 7-8 point lead, I think, in the second quarter. They had the lead at halftime, and they were nip and tuck for much of the game. And they had fight in them, man. They had fight in them. But ultimately, man, it just wasn't to be. Anyway, tell me what you guys think.